They might look cuddly, but an encounter with one of these can be deadly. Puma concolor, or the cougar, is a large member of the feline family and an apex predator of the Americas. It's a cat of many names that's commonly known as the puma, panther, catamount, or mountain lion. Its coat is tan or tawny, and it has a round face and erect ears. Mountain lions are slender and agile felines with bodies built for great leaping and powerful short sprints. They have large paws and proportionately the largest hind legs of all felines. The North American mountain lion has a long and heavy tail, which accounts for 2/3 of its body. Aside from the North American cougar, there are 5 other mountain lion subspecies, all of which are solely found in Latin America. Even though it might resemble an average house cat, the mountain lion is roughly the size of an adult human. Males typically weigh between 115 and 220 pounds, and females are usually smaller, with an average weight of 93 pounds. The size of the mountain lion varies depending on the feline's geographical range. Number 4. Man saves his wife from attacking cougar. An unnamed 60-year-old woman was attacked by a mountain lion while she was gardening in the backyard of her mountain cabin on the remote Flores Island in Clayoquot Sound on the west coast of Vancouver Island. The animal saw the woman in a crouched position and mistook her for prey. It pounced on her and started to bite her on the head as she screamed in pain. She would have been mauled to death if not for her husband, who was nearby and heard her screams. Reacting quickly, he grabbed a boar spear and repeatedly stabbed the cougar until it loosened its grip and ran away. It was later found dead by conservationist officials around 50 feet from the cabin. Conservation officer Sergeant Ben York told a media outlet that he believed it was the first time in Canada and perhaps even in North America when someone stopped a mountain lion attack by killing it with a spear. The woman was airlifted to a hospital in Victoria. Her skull had been partially crushed by the animal and part of her scalp was missing, but doctors managed to stabilize her. The locals praised the man as a hero as they believed the same animal had been responsible for a series of other attacks. The mountain lion has the largest span of any wild animal in the Americas and may be found from the Pacific to the Atlantic coast and from the northern Yukon to the southern Andes in Chile. Highly adaptable, this is the reason for such a wide distribution. It inhabits various environments, from wooded forests and snowy mountains to arid lowlands, swamps, or coastal areas. Mountain lions are usually solitary and territorial animals. Only the mothers and her kittens live in small groups. Mothers are fiercely protective of their young and have been known to fight off substantially larger animals such as grizzly bears in order to defend them. Mountain lions are nocturnal and generalist predators, meaning that they will eat any animal they catch, from insects to large ungulates such as elk and moose. They aren't typically classified among the big cats as they can't roar, instead communicating through low-pitched growls, purrs, and hisses comparable to those of domestic cats. Number 3. Saved by a bear. While roaming the woods of north-central California, 69-year-old Robert Biggs encountered a black bear mother and her cubs. The man spent some time observing them from 40 feet away before continuing his trek. As he turned around to leave, a mountain lion pounced on his backpack with all 4 paws. Biggs was swiftly brought to his knees and tried to fend off the feline using his rock pick. He managed to hit it once and the animal screamed, but didn't loosen its grip and began making its way towards his neck. Then Biggs saw a blur on his left side. In an incredible turn of events, the black bear he'd been watching earlier grabbed the cougar by the throat and ripped its grip off Biggs's backpack. The two tussled for another 15 seconds, but the bear won the battle, outweighing the feline by at least 300 pounds. The cougar fled into the woods and Biggs returned home with only a few scratches and bruises. Even though mountain lions typically shy away from human encounters, the growing expanse of human population into their territories means that the chances for attacks are increased. In North America, there were at least 20 people killed by mountain lions between 1890 and 2011, and most of the victims were unattended children. Although mountain lion attacks on humans are rare, these animals do own several features that make confrontation dangerous and potentially life-threatening. Aside from being roughly the size of an adult human, it has a slender body with strong, muscular limbs. Its powerful forequarters, jaws, and neck are designed to grasp and hold onto large prey. It also has sharp, retractable claws that can cut to the bone and an impressive bite. They are also highly athletic animals, capable of vertical leaps of up to 15 feet and short sprints around 50 miles an hour. Even though it can run, the mountain lion is typically an ambush predator. It stalks its prey, often from a more elevated position, before leaping onto its back and delivering a suffocating neck bite. Number 2. Mother saves son from mountain lion. A Colorado woman rushed to her front yard after she heard screams. She feared for the worst as she knew that her 2 sons had been playing in the yard of her Aspen home. Her fears were confirmed when she saw a mountain lion hunched over her youngest, biting him. The woman yanked away one of the feline's paws and discovered that her son's head was inside the beast's mouth in what the locals called a true act of heroism. The woman pried open the mountain lion's mouth and rescued her boy. The mountain lion ran away. The 5-year-old was flown to the Children's Hospital in Denver with deep cuts to his face, neck, and head. Luckily, his condition was stabilized and he was expected to make a full recovery. The mother, who was credited with saving her son's life, also suffered scratches on her legs and bite marks on her hand. If you find yourself in mountain lion country, there are several things you can do to make sure you don't come across one. The mountain lion is a solitary animal and less likely to attack if you're traveling in a group. Avoid hiking between dusk and dawn, and if you're traveling with children, keep them in sight as they're more vulnerable to attacks. In case you stumble across a freshly killed animal, you should leave the area quickly, as it could be a mountain lion stash that it might return to later. Never approach mountain lion kittens, as the mother's most likely nearby. If you encounter a mountain lion, try your best to stay calm and stand your ground and maintain eye contact. Don't display prey behavior. This means that you shouldn't run, crouch, or give your back to the animal. Raise your arms and make yourself look bigger while making loud noises. Back away slowly. If the mountain lion is committed to attacking you, it will most likely go in for the quick kill, aiming at your head or throat. Protect these areas as much as possible and keep striking the animal with anything you have at your disposal. If nothing else is available, fight it with your bare hands. Other people have done it before and successfully warded it off. Try to remain standing. Your chances of survival increase if the mountain lion sees that you aren't easy prey. Number 1. Anne Hale. On January the 8th, 2004, former Marine Anne Hale was riding her bike in Orange County's Whiting Ranch Wilderness Park alongside her riding partner, Debbie Nichols. Hale was ahead and slowed down when another cyclist pointed out a lone mountain bike leaning against a tree. She didn't think much of it and continued to ride. Then, as she later described it, she was punched off her bike with the force of a speeding truck. Within seconds, the ex-Marine found herself fighting for her life with a mountain lion. She punched the animal relentlessly, but it had already gripped her head in its jaws. Nichols threw her bike at the mountain lion, but nothing happened. In a desperate attempt to save her friend, she grabbed Hale's legs and started to pull. That's when Hale's face started to come apart. Other bikers saw what was happening. They started shouting and throwing rocks at the animal until it finally let go and ran off. In the aftermath of the attack, the woman was almost choking on blood as she tried to put a slab of hanging skin back on her cheek. She was taken to the hospital via helicopter. Later that day, it was discovered that the same mountain lion had killed 35-year-old Mark Reynolds, a mountain biker from Foothill Ranch. Hale ultimately recovered and had a number of reconstructive surgeries. She became a mother and even wrote a book about her ordeal. The damage to several nerves on her face, however, was permanent.
Hey guys, it's Angelo, producer of this channel. I wanted to let you all know I've set up a Patreon account where I'll be offering very exciting and very exclusive bonus footage available only to people on Patreon. There, your voice will be heard regarding things you want to see and which direction I take my channel. Click on the end screen here to find out more, or on the link in the description below. Thanks guys, and I hope to see you on Patreon soon.